We all know the usual ways to learn English, right? Grammar books, vocabulary lists, maybe finding someone to chat with. But what if there are some next level strategies? Things refined for, say, 2025 that could really speed things up. And not just make it faster, but actually change how you feel about learning English, make it less of a chore, more, well, natural. Okay, let's dive into some serious insights here.
That's exactly what we're zeroing in on in this deep dive. We've looked at a lot of research on language acquisition, and we're pulling out the most impactful, the real cutting-edge methods. And yeah, this goes way beyond just perfecting your pronunciation or memorizing word lists. We're talking about adding new dimensions to how you actually approach learning English. Things designed to really accelerate your journey.
Right. So our mission today is basically to give you the inside track, to make you really well informed on how to learn English faster, make it feel natural, and maybe even, enjoy it more. Get ready because we found some genuinely surprising things, maybe a few aha moments for you. So let's kick things off with something pretty fundamental, a big shift in thinking. Imagine if your whole environment just started speaking English to you, like automatically. The research we looked at suggests that if your surroundings are consistently English, your brain actually starts thinking in English without you forcing it.
Yeah, and what's fascinating now is how practical this is. It's about creating this English bubble around yourself, no matter where you live. Really key first step. Change your device languages. Your phone, your laptop, social media apps, switch them all to English. It sounds small, but it's this constant low-level exposure. Your brain just kind of absorbs it passively. It's like ambient learning, picking up useful stuff without formal studying. It builds those pathways. Then there's this idea of a digital diet. Try to make say 80% of the stuff you watch or listen to online, YouTube, Netflix, podcasts, news, music, and English. And finally, you can turn your home into a living vocabulary lesson. Stick notes on things, English words on your mirror, the fridge, your desk.
And here's a great little aha moment from the sources, a pro tip really. Don't just read those labels on your fridge or whatever. Every time you use the object, say the word or phrase out loud, like, I'm opening the refrigerator. It seems so simple, right? But saying it out loud, that active engagement, it really cements it. It helps reprogram your brain, makes those connections deeper. Okay, so surrounding yourself with English can subtly rewire things. But what about active learning without it feeling like, endless studying? Our next brain hack is all about making those spare moments count. What do you think works better, a big 3-hour study session once a week or little bits often? The data we saw points pretty clearly towards microlearning.
Absolutely. Consistency beats intensity here. Breaking it down is way more effective. And today, that means using things like AI chat partners, ChatGPT or language apps. You can have mini conversations whenever you've got a few minutes. Even just 3 minutes here and there adds up. Plus, you get instant feedback, no judgment. Another technique is the one phrase per hour rule. Just learn or review one new phrase every hour you're awake. Sounds small, but that could be 10, 12 new phrases a day without feeling overwhelmed. It uses that spacing effect. Cognitive science talks about learning little and often really helps long-term memory, way better than cramming. Something practical. Try mini challenges, like record a 30-second voice note in English each day. Send it to a study buddy, maybe. You actually hear yourself improving over time. That's super motivating.
Yeah, what really comes through from the sources is that consistency, even tiny bits, just blows episodic cramming out of the water. It's about building a habit, using how our brains naturally learn. It turns studying from this big task into something almost automatic, part of your day. Okay, so we've got the small, consistent habits down, but what about the foundation for really fluent, natural speaking? The experts really hammer this home. Listening is key. You need daily, consistent exposure to real, natural English, not just textbook stuff.
That's a great point. But how do you listen effectively? It's not just about having it on in the background. The materials suggest this powerful two-step process. First is deep listening. Pick one thing, a short video, a podcast clip. Listen to it 3 times. First, just get the gist, the overall meaning. Second time, listen with subtitles or transcript. Catch all the details, the words you missed. Then, the third time, listen again without the text, but this time, try repeating key sentences out loud. Mimic the rhythm, the intonation. The second step builds on that, the shadowing technique. Play a really short clip, maybe 5–10 seconds. Immediately after it stops, you repeat exactly what you heard. Try to match the speed, the melody, everything. And here's the kicker. Record yourself doing it. Then compare your recording to the original. That immediate feedback is gold for improving.
And what honestly blew me away reading about this was the claim they make about improvement speed. Like 30 days of doing this consistently, and your pronunciation could be 10 times more natural. 10 times. Apparently, it's similar to how actors learn accents. If it works for Hollywood, it's got to do something for us, right?
Mm.
So we've got the environment sorted, we're doing micro-learning, we're deep listening and shadowing. But what about actually, talking to people?
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, the sources are pretty clear. There's really no excuse not to find speaking practice, even if you're not in an English-speaking country. The options are just huge now.
That's absolutely right. The research highlights three main avenues. First, AI and VR practice is getting really sophisticated. It's not just basic chat anymore. Think AI that gives real-time feedback on your intonation, not just grammar. Or VR, where you're in a virtual cafe or airport, actually interacting with things while you speak. It simulates real life, real embodied learning. Job interview practice, ordering coffee, all that. Second, there are language exchange platforms. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk, even places like Reddit communities. You find someone learning your language, you teach each other, win-win. And third, don't forget about real-world meetups. English clubs, conversation groups, lots of cities have them. Or hey, start your own.
Okay, so here's a challenge for you listening. Try it. Aim for at least one 5-minute English conversation every single day. It doesn't matter if it's with an AI, online, or in person. The sources all agree that consistency is what builds real fluency. Just doing it. Now, let's tackle something huge. One of the biggest roadblocks learners hit, often without even realizing it. It's that habit of translating everything in your head from your native language. It just slows you right down, makes speaking stressful, causes pauses.
Oh, absolutely. This is crucial for sounding fluid and natural. The goal is to train your brain to bypass that translation step entirely. Think directly in English. And there are ways to train this. First, try naming your actions in English. As you do things, just say what you're doing. Cooking, I'm chopping onions. Walking, I'm crossing the street now. It connects the language directly to the action. Second, when you learn a new word, like apple, try to instantly picture the meaning. See the actual fruit in your mind. Don't just think of the word in your language. Create that direct link. And finally, have inner conversations. Just talk to yourself silently in English during the day. Ask yourself things like, okay, what should I do next? Or notice things, I'm feeling a bit tired. This constant internal chatter primes your brain for speaking.
And the payoff they talk about is pretty amazing. After just a few weeks of consciously doing this, you really should start noticing yourself speaking faster, hesitating less. It lets your thoughts flow straight into English words. It's a total game changer for fluency. Okay, finally, let's talk about what some sources call the secret ingredient. It's not just grammar or vocab, it's your mindset. Real fluency, learning fast, it's so much about staying motivated, pushing through challenges, and actually, enjoying the process enough to stick with it.
That's such a critical piece of the puzzle. The research points to three really important mindset shifts for today's learners. First, progress over perfection. You have to get comfortable with making mistakes. Seriously, every error is just proof you're trying, you're learning, you're pushing your limits. It's not failure, it's data. Second, enjoy the journey. Find ways to bring English into activities you already love. Gaming in English, watching movies, cooking tutorials, music. If it's fun, you'll keep doing it. That intrinsic motivation is powerful. And third, track your growth. Keep it simple. A little note each day, what did I learn, what did I practice? Looking back even a week later and seeing that progress is a massive confidence booster. It creates this positive cycle.
Right, so just to be clear, when we talk about learning English fast, it's not about rushing or cramming, it's about learning smart. Optimizing your methods, using the tools available now, and, maybe most importantly, getting your head in the right space. Cultivating that positive, persistent attitude. So there you have it. 5 really powerful, kind of next-level strategies to seriously upgrade your English learning for 2025. We've covered changing your environment, using micro-learning, the power of deep listening and shadowing, finding real speaking practice, and crucially, training yourself to think in English.
Yeah, and what's really neat is seeing how they all connect, isn't it? Immersion feeds into micro-learning opportunities, deep listening make shadowing more effective, practice leads to thinking in English, and underlying it all is that mindset piece. Believing in progress, finding the enjoyment, because, as we always stress, just knowing this stuff isn't enough. You have to understand it, apply it, think critically about how it works for you.
Okay, so for your final thought today, your takeaway challenge, act on one thing. Right now, or maybe later today. Spend just 15 minutes shadowing. Pick a short English video you like. Really focus on matching the speaker's speed, their rhythm, their intonation. Afterwards, just notice what feels different about your pronunciation, even after just 15 minutes, what clicks. Remember, that consistency, even short bursts, that's where the real magic happens.
And maybe zoom out for a second. How might applying even just one of these strategies consistently day after day actually reshape your whole relationship with learning English? It's often those small, steady efforts that lead to the biggest, most natural breakthroughs. So stay curious and keep putting in that consistent practice.